what are your biggest complaints when it comes to men? In the modern day man today in 2021. And I guess I'll reverse the order. Let me start with you, Nanise. Let me start with you.
Oh my God. Really? Okay. Um, I actually don't have any hate towards men or bias. I'm a woman, but I just think at the end of the day, it really depends on the person's background, what they go through. And, it doesn't matter how old you are, but it matters like the maturity, the discipline you have. And one thing that I see is common, that I see that most men, not only just men, but also for women, I believe like nowadays when it comes to relationship, most people settle for what's ready now instead of Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not really taking the time to like learn about yourself, what you like, or like who are you compatible with. And I think because of social media, everybody, instead of doing the old school way, it's all about the DMs, and you talk through the DMs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm a huge romantic person. I really didn't notice that until I became a mom, because I started thinking about my kids' future. Like when they get married, I want them to have that traditional step, and for me, I'm not perfect, but I'm happy that along the way, when I was learning, there were so many guys that asked me out. I said no so many times. I wasn't that type of girl like, oh, he's cute, I'm gonna date him. No, I want to be with somebody where I think, I will marry, but I did learn like a lot of mistakes. Some relationship didn't work. I've been in 2 serious relationships, and I kind of realized from a mistake in the past, I was the type of person where, if I'm in it, we're going to stay together. But then sometimes there's red flags. Sometimes, there's some things that you don't like, somebody you don't want to grow old with. So that's just my opinion. But I think for our culture, where we need to take the time to really fall in love with ourselves, date ourselves, so we can end up, being with somebody that you want to be together for the rest of your life, if that makes sense.
Great check.
Okay,
Right.
all
So,
right.
so that's my intake on it. Yeah.
All right. So based on what you said, so you said that a lot of people are settling for what's ready now and never getting the chance to know the person.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
So basically, they would just date and then move on fast, instead of like, let me get to know this person. Oh, I don't like this, so we're not going to talk because they don't have XYZ. Instead of just the looks, or instead of like, I don't want to, instead of sex, you know what I mean? Like, instead of looking further beyond that, like can this person take care of my crazy? Is this person going to take care of me when I'm going through the shits? Like stuff like that.
Oh, so you're saying like it's too casual today. Nobody's looking for.
Yeah.
People
Yes,
dating,
it is.
people are not
Yes.
dating. People are no longer dating for commitment or marriage. People are just dating to have fun.
Exactly.
Yes.
So like, there's no
Right.
there's no plan. There's no plan behind
Right. And all these
the
little
dating.
girls, like, I don't understand, like they're like sleeping together in high school. Like, I never seen that when I was in high school, like, they act like they're adults already. They should, like, Monserrat, you're on the right path. Like, take your time, live your life. Because when you find that right one,
girl.
right, you're not gonna be like how the generation is, so
Well,
yeah.
I would say in America, because of the internet and we have the access to internet at an early age, we're introduced to sex a lot earlier now.
Yeah.
Before then, because before I grew up before social media, so I was still playing with sticks when I was a little kid.
That's good.
Yeah,
I was still running around outside.
Generation where like technology
Yeah.
started.
So,
like,
but now I have younger nieces and nephews. Like they're already talking about sex at a very young age because they have access to it. Because you can see that all the time on Instagram. So it's not a surprise why a lot of kids nowadays are just thinking about sex now because of the internet, because we're introduced to it a lot earlier. Okay.
what happened to parental controls? Like the shit. Why people stop
you
using
can't
parental controls?
you can't really monitor the internet. It's just
Yeah.
Right.
Not only the internet, but when your kids are with their friends or what their friends
Yeah, exactly.
talk about,
Yeah.
you can't really control them anymore.
Yeah, you can't control them when they go to
It's
their
such a big
friends
world.
outside.
Society in general.
Yeah, they're gonna find access somehow.
Somehow, yeah, exactly. Jesus.
Yeah. So you can go to the library and watch that.
No, yeah, true. You could.
All right. Okay. All right. And then of course, Nanise, you said about talking through the DMs with people. I guess what you're saying, people don't talk socially no more, like face to face? Is that what you're saying? Everything's through the
Yeah.
DM?
Because I remember in middle school, high school, like a lot of girls will meet their boyfriends through there, but me, I never talked to anyone through DMs. It was always like in person, you know. And I don't know, it's just something my mom always taught me. Like she always says, don't think with your ass, think with your head, because she didn't want me to be like, no offense, I don't like to like put a label down, but like these taunting girls be chasing boys instead of like being good in school, study, focus on yourself. Like I was always that girl, you know, focus in school. I didn't care too much about the boys, but
Oh, I was the opposite.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, I feel so guilty like saying stuff like this. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, girl, I was so boy crazy growing up. It was bad.
Right. I would.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
No, it's
don't
all
mean,
good.
you know, I'm not perfect. Okay, I'm sorry.
But we're all being honest. We all have our own opinions.
Okay,
We do it differently, so it's okay.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Girl, we're gonna embarrass each other, whether we like it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the
Look,
first of many on this podcast.
Okay, I did
All right.
mistake.
No, so
Okay.
Nanise, I do want to ask you because I know the things you mentioned. I feel like that's more like the culture in general. But I want to ask you, what specifically? One of the questions I ask you, what specifically your biggest complaints when it comes to men specifically? So, what do you see things
Okay.
that men are doing right now in modern day dating that you feel like that's one of the reasons why a lot of women are struggling with? So, yeah, can you make it more specific about the men?
Most of this men wants us to be their mothers. That's one thing that pisses me off. Look, okay.
Break that down.
Even if I'm your girlfriend, don't expect me to be your mother until you put a ring on it. You get what I mean? Like, grow up. You know,
Like,
don't.
Like, give me a specific. Like, what would they ask you to do that's related to their mother? You could talk about cooking and cleaning.
Yeah, that, and also I don't know, it's just some comments they say, like the snick this. I just kind of think back of some of the comments that they say and expect me to, you know, like if they have a bad day or whatever, they will bitch and you know, be moody at you, and you know, like it's okay, but you can respect me at the end of the day, if that makes sense. Do you guys get where I'm coming from?
No, I'm blank right now.
No.
I'm blank.
Like I don't think that's anything to do with them acting like with you being their mother, but that's just like in general, like they shouldn't bitch and complain because they had a bad day.
It's okay to do it, but we're not a punching bag, you know. And
oh no, yeah.
Do you get what I mean? It's just hard for me to.
No, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Like, do you mean like when if they rely on you they're like as a mom to take care of them? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, like emotionally,
I think she means
physically,
emotionally, yeah. Like, I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
That just sounds like that's like a broken man if he's relying like that.
Yeah, and I also like my last relationship before this one. Like, not only did I have to do all the cooking and cleaning, I had to work extra. I had to pay all the significant bills while he didn't do shit in the house. He didn't even work. He refused to work when COVID started. So it was only me. But then he would have the gall to freaking steal my money and live a lavish life. But then like he can just spend the money whenever he wants, but then I'm not allowed to spend my money. The hard money that I worked and you freaking didn't.
Yeah.
It's the lack of masculinity in these dudes. They just think that like because they have single mothers and didn't have a father figure, they just think that like, oh, we can just use the woman as a utility or whatever the shit.
Right. She just hit the nails in the coffin. Oh, I probably said it wrong, but anyways, exactly that. I just forgot. Anyways, continue.
No, like I thought like being a strong, independent woman was like a good idea until you find a dependent man. Then it freaking sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Why am I doing everything and you're just sitting there doing nothing? How come I feel more like a man than you are? What the fuck? So like,
right.
So, because all of you guys, like, you know, you guys prefer your man to take care of you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Equally. That's what I think.
Exactly.
Equally, partnership. You know, it can't just be we deal with everything and the emotional part. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be equally. And when we're having a bad day, let's talk it out instead of I'm the punching bag. You should do this. You should do that. You know, it should be like, you know, let's work together.
Yeah. And on what Nanny's saying, I think not only like the household, we should both like if my future husband, when I have kids, I'm not gonna be the only one cooking and cleaning. No, you can get the restroom. Or he can do the yard work. He can do all that. If he wants me to like cook, clean, make him lunch, okay. But he better build me a house. He better build me a whole bunch of things, equally. Like he better provide that too. If not, that's not equal.